Animal Crossing New Horizons has been a great success. Critics were almost unanimous in praising the game, and the vast majority of existing Animal Crossing fans have given New Horizons their enthusiastic approval. I am a new fan. Having not been particularly interested in the series before, I was drawn in by the idea of developing a deserted island into a bustling town from the ground up. While almost everyone has been positive about New Horizons, this hasn't stopped it being review bombed on Metacritic. New Horizons has a meta score of 91. This is an aggregate score based on the reviews of professional games journalists, and a 91 indicates universal acclaim according to Metacritic. However, at time of writing the game has a mediocre user score of 5.3 out of 10, based on 3,217 user ratings. It takes only a cursory glance over the user ratings to understand the cause of this. A huge number of users have given the game 0 out of 10, and their comments almost unanimously complain about two interlinked problems: one island per console, and the disparity of different players on that island. To explain, each individual Nintendo Switch console has a single Animal Crossing island that is shared among any number of players. I share a single Switch with my wife, so both of our characters are working together to develop the same island. If we wanted to each have our own island, the only way to achieve this would be to buy a second Nintendo Switch. What's more, the first person to play New Horizons is declared the citizen representative. They will be given a series of objectives by Tom Nook to develop the island, things like choosing where new residents' houses will be built, and then collecting the various resources required to build them. Despite this being a central hook of the game, other players are more or less completely locked out of these objectives. All Tom Nook will say to them is to speak to the citizen representative for more information, and to my knowledge there is no way to transfer the citizen representative role to another player. I don't necessarily agree with the review bombing tactic that these users have employed, nor do I intend to discuss the tactic itself here. But I do absolutely agree with the complaints made by those review bombing the game. What's more, I think the issue is indicative of a larger problem with Animal Crossing. All aspects of its multiplayer leave room for improvement. Personally, I really like sharing an island with another player. It's great to switch on my game and see the various changes that she has made to the island while I've been away. It's an amplification of what many find so special about Animal Crossing. I'm not just seeing the town develop as new NPC residents move in. I'm seeing intelligent, thoughtful changes by another human player. But while this setup works for us, I accept that it doesn't work for everyone. It feels like it would have been incredibly simple to allow players the choice of joining an existing island or creating a new one, or of giving everyone their own island with a shared area common to all players on a console. This is effectively what we've done on our island, with the left hand side my side, the right my wife's, and the central area being common ground. Quite why there weren't formal options for this built into the game, I'm not sure. While I'm personally fine with the shared islands, I'm less happy about not being a citizen representative. I absolutely love building up a base, watching my land grow and develop over time. This is something that really appeals to me in games like Harvest Moon and Stardew Valley, and which pulled me into Animal Crossing New Horizons. Yet I find myself locked out of big parts of it. I can craft items, buy things from shops, and decorate my house. But I cannot control where other residents will move in, and more importantly for me, I can't directly work towards constructing their houses, nor can I unlock new game features. If I want to be involved in these aspects of the game, I need to ask my wife what Tom Nook has asked her to do, and if applicable, collect items to give to her. I don't understand why the game was set up in this way. We're sharing the island. Why can't Tom Nook just tell me directly? Why can't I give him items I've collected directly to help towards our shared goals? I have been unable to think of or find any good explanation as to why the game was designed like this, except to encourage people to buy a second Nintendo Switch. But I don't want to play Animal Crossing on a separate island. I like sharing it. While these complaints are valid, they're not the only problems with New Horizons multiplayer. Both the local and online multiplayer systems leave rather a lot to be desired. Residents of the same island can work together in local cooperative play on a single screen. It is great fun to run around and harvest items with other players, but rather than giving each player identical abilities, the game once again privileges a single player. This leader can do everything else they would normally, other players are significantly limited. They cannot access their inventory, and can only cycle through their tools one at a time. This can slow down the game significantly, while we wait to cycle into the vaulting pole to cross a river, or to the axe before cutting wood. What is even worse is that other players don't automatically keep items that they pick up. They get instantly transferred into a storage box in resident services. This seems like something that would be a good idea in online play, where you have other people come to visit you for a short time. But where the other characters are residents of the island, why can't they automatically keep whatever they pick up? Worse of all, every single time another player picks up an item, they have to watch an animation of their character holding the item and it vanishing from their grasp. Every single time. This slows down the game to the extent that it's best for only the lead player to pick up anything, and for everyone else to be delegated to hitting rocks and shaking trees. Remember that I'd said I need to give items to the citizen representative to help with island tasks? Well, thanks to the inventory system, that becomes a bit of a chore as well. If I want to transfer an item to my wife, we need to set myself as the lead player, then I need to drop the item, then we need to transfer lead playership to her, and then she'd need to pick the item up, and we need to do this every time we want to transfer items to one another. It's fiddly work that could have been easily fixed by allowing each player to open a small inventory window in the corner of the screen whenever they want to drop items or change tools. New Horizons' online experience is probably the best aspect of the game's multiplayer, but even it is not without its flaws. Players can open the gates of their island to visitors, or go to visit a friend's island. When visiting another island, players can do most of the things they would at home, but the island owner can toggle whether or not they can do things like cut down trees. Up to 7 other people can visit an island at any one time. This is a nice feature, but the systems that support it feel awfully clunky for a 2020 release. There is no way within the game to notify your friends that the gate is open and they can come and visit you. There is also no way to check which friends are open for visitors, except by talking to an NPC and navigating through a fair chunk of text before they scan for open gates. When you do visit someone, you have to watch a pretty long cutscene, and worse, if you're hosting visitors on your island, you have to watch a cutscene every time someone arrives or leaves. Imagine having 7 visitors come to your island and having to watch almost the same thing 7 times. Visiting or having visitors who are not on your friends list uses a code system, which evokes memories of ancient password save games. Again, there is no way to share codes within the game itself. If you do want to open your island up to strangers, then you need to share a code on social media or a forum. My point here is that online multiplayer should be streamlined significantly. You should be able to toggle your gate open or closed with the push of a button, see whose gate is open whenever you want, and zip over to that island as quickly as your internet connection allows. And there should be more features to allow you to meet and play with other people outside of your friends list, built into the game itself, with suitable parental controls of course. Maybe it sounds like I'm nitpicking, maybe I am a little bit. None of these issues, not even the citizen's representative problem, are enough to put me off the game. I'm going to keep playing most days for the foreseeable future, and I'm going to keep playing with other people. But while these problems aren't big enough to warrant a serious complaint, they are big enough to blemish an otherwise seamless game. Animal Crossing New Horizons is a game built around gentle social interaction, so it's strange that the most sociable aspects of the game are so clunky. A game with the Metascore of 91 should have better multiplayer features, and I'm surprised that more professional critics didn't pull the game up on this in their reviews. I guess that reviewing the game early meant that the focus was much more on the single player side of the game, but with a little tweaking, I think that New Horizons could also be a gem of a multiplayer title. Thanks very much for watching, and thanks to everyone listed here who made gaming footage available under the Creative Commons license. If you'd like to watch any of my other videos, they're on screen now and links are in the description below.